Kristen Wildes. I work with the Ada Historical Society, and we operate the Averill Historical Museum of Ada. Ada exists because of the river. That's why we are located at the place on the map that we are. And it was the early Native communities and then the subsequent fur trade that established our location on the river. And I wrote about one particular bridge that really illustrated an evolution in our community. It was the bridge over the Grand River. And I talk about 4 iterations of the bridge. The early bridge from the 1840s that was replaced with a covered wooden bridge in the 1850s, which the covered aspect of it is sort of a romantic feeling for us now, a covered wooden bridge. But it was used by the farmers, bringing in things from the farms on the north side of the Grand River into town to have a weight on the scales or traded or eventually loaded onto the trains. So that wooden bridge becomes replaced in 1917 with an iron bridge because M21 isn't horse and buggies anymore. And it's a change in the way people traveled, and people would come from city out to the country, which Ada was a farming community out in the country, but it's becoming closer in as the vehicle brings people further out more often. And then that iron bridge gets replaced with a steel and concrete bridge in the 1950s. And the river that we owe our location to also became inconvenient because the bridge had to take this hairpin turn when it was an iron bridge. And as traffic volume increased and speeds increased, people weren't making that hairpin turn, and we had accidents where people would come off and fall into the riverbank, as I show on one of the images there. And so MDOT moved the mouth of the Thornapple River that meets the Grand at that bridge site, moved the mouth of the river 500 feet to the east so that they could straighten the path of M21 Fulton toward Lowell. And so that tells an evolution from the small farming rural community that we were to being this on a high volume traffic road, M21, and the change of that bridge over time. And then the piece that happened while they were moving 500 feet to the east was an archaeological dig. Dr. Ruth Herrick and